Ken Long of Tortoise Capital with the market health check admin update for August 14th, and I'll do a speed run after that. See how fast we can get through this. So first thing I do is just march forward each of the look back periods. Look back 30 days, 20 days, 10 days. I adjust the 30-day high. No new 30-day high was made, so that stays in place. 30-day low remains in place. So that's going to stay same spot. No change to the 30-day range, still 8%. 10-day high remains in place. 10-day low remains in place, so the 10-day range stays at 3 1/3, so that's just about 3 ATRs of 10 days of work, so that's all that. I'm going to zoom in on the 10-day look back period, give myself some working room here. I just kind of go from top down. So the Z3 line the Z3 line remains in place. The RL10 all-time peak remains in place. Dragon peak remains in place. Just going to adjust the daily. Basically a sideways choppy kind of a day. Low of the day. Everything stayed north of the dragon, that's good. High of the day. $337. Baby dragon moves up. That 3-period moving average of the RL10. I'll adjust the RL10. Just doing the black and yellow for contrast. So still strong. Price netted out to about 0 today. The dragon extension. Just looking at how that spine of the dragon projects forward. Same with the RL30 health. March the PSAR up. So that'll be Monday, so the PSAR is going to be approximately there. So that's current PSAR, Monday's PSAR. That's still the dragon bottom right there. It's also going to be Z1. Okay, the RL90 moved up a little bit. That's the top of the dragon skin and the dragon peak. That acts as a strong support level. Having no source noticing that range compression compared to the previous 2 days and held marking time, so we're still from that 10-day high. So this is the high of the day here. 30-day high, the 10-day high remain the same. The RL10 price moves up just slightly. That plots the endpoint of the 10-period regression line. The moving one simply connects all the dots of each subsequent 10-day endpoint. And then this is the straight line. And so they will always meet right there. As long as that's above the baby dragon, which is the 3-period moving average of this, then it's still favorable. But if that crosses, that becomes that first warning sign. Okay, we'll go look a little further down now. 10-day low remains in place. Bollinger Band mean moves up slightly. This RL10 peak was from the previous surge up. It pulled back and then rejoined. So everything above this line is the value of that current surge. This was the long-term peak RL270 fair value from back prior to the sell-off. So Z2 comes up a little bit, or Z1 I should say. Z2 and the RL30 low are about the same. This is the current RL270 fair value. So the difference between that one and the peak is how much pain and suffering is still being felt compared to in the minds of the long-term buy and holders. So this is the 30-day, the 30-day low is now up to here, and this is the Z3 line. Z1, Z2, Z3. Good. So now, when we look at this from a bit of a distance, that's what our market condition looks like. I'll take a snapshot of that, and that becomes the snapshot for the long term. Do a quick speed run now. Now I'm just looking at the dailies without drawings. Alcoa still declining, support at the PSAR. Apple held support pretty well today above the dragon. That's a long-term buy. Amazon, probably same pattern, but not as strong as Apple. You can see this is really a crucial support level. That's a critical state, ready to break in either direction. Supported by the PSAR and the Bollinger Band mean, but 3250 is in charge. This is a sale price, about a 5% sell. Caterpillar found support at the skin of the dragon, still a long-term buy because of this strength, but man, 4 days it tried and failed. Critical state. Cliff Natural Resources, positive upward move. We were long that one today, intraday. Good to go. Cisco trying to find support after the earnings smash. This is finding solid support at the long-term fair value. Diamonds, solid. Strongest U.S. index. Devon Energy found support at the PSAR and bounced, coming through the dragon. That's a buy on Monday. AEM, sideways quiet channel, getting ready for a breakout of either Z1 or Z0. I like the breakout from that doji and trade it hard in either direction. Get some of these big moving days, that could be a win. Double inverse energy. Not much to see. Energy just marking time sideways, waiting for more economic indicators, I think. Japan very strong and held the corner of the gains. That's the new fair value right there. I like it. Mexico voting strong north. Look at them go. Low, high, higher low, higher high. You got to buy the resumption. most importantly, it carried above the peak of this dragon right here. That was a big tell today. Brazil, solid. If this finds support, I think you can go long on a breakout of the dragon. If you're aggressive above the high of the day, instantly short if this shows weakness now that we're in the winter, and holding in Z1 for 3 days. So, critical state. That's a high priority. Facebook, you can buy it on sale here at 260. This little wedge pattern, sideways quiet channel, almost an inside day. Buy the breakout to the upside, buy the breakdown below the dragon. Target PSAR, Bollinger Band, main, and Z1. Google, long-term buy. Look at that, nice. Any breakout above the Bollinger Band main, you own it. Home Depot, buy every breakout, just as good as it can be. IBM was an intraday play. I still like this as a critical state for all the reasons we talked about yesterday, but it's not a swing until it gets above the PSAR. Intel, sideways quiet channel. I'm ready to buy the breakout from a critical state. It had 5 chances to fail. It did not. Great company, buying it on sale. It's a tech leader waiting to catch its wind. Russell, not as strong as the diamonds, but still held the line this week and locked in all these gains. Held support above Z1 and closed strong, favorable. Coke, holding steady. There's better ones like Home Depot, but I like the low and the higher low, and if it can break above here, off it goes. Kodak, just evidence of the folly of mankind. At some point, like if it gets above 10, I could be interested in a swing, but right now it's pure tactical. Microsoft, like IBM, at a critical state, held support at the PSAR, although this made the PSAR flip. I still like it on the long side, and I'll be ready to resume. I think 220 is in range. Nikola Motors, I think you should own it long term as the alternative to Tesla, and they got hydrogen fuel cells. I think the bottom's in. Nucor, along with the materials and Alcoa, that was strong. I like it. I like the breakout, any breakout from there. Rebuilding of America. NVIDIA, winning the chip wars, hands down. Buy it. Clean energy, also buy it as an investment in a Green New Deal, now that is looking more likely. That's where we're going to rebuild the industrial base, is reconfigure cities with American-made products, with green energy. How do you not buy PBW? I mean, geez. Silver, held support, recovered nicely. As long as it's above the PSAR, it's a buy. Virgin Galactic, desperate, but it had some amazing run-ups from here, but they don't have any more news that they can announce. This is a critical state to buy the breakdown as well as the breakout, and so I want to get a second position, and if it breaks down here below 17 and a quarter, and then the target is down here at 15, sorry. Simon Property, it's been dead money lately. There was some urge earlier this week, and it closed well. I think you could try the breakout above this with the tight stop on a daily range, and then if it breaks through here, the next target I think is up in here about at 80. Yeah, I think there's better ones than that though. SPY solid, inverse volatility. It's like an alongside. Triple Tech, buy it. Held strong. Treasuries putting in a base. I think your stop. I think you could buy it at Z2 with a Z3 stop. So about a $10 stop, buying it at 163, and you'll be glad you did. Triple Tech, triple Q's also strong, like TECL. Tesla, they can do no wrong, but it's the P.T. Barnum effect. You have a really tight 20-day trading range. It's at the top of that. The last time it gets smashed in 2 days. That's a tough one. I think you started intraday first. Twitter. I'm an owner, and I like it for the long term. This 10-day consolidation, and there was some buying pressure recently to take it to 40. I like it. Oil continuing just to March. Yeah, sideways quiet channel now. Energy sector recovery. VIX, the lack of volatility is astonishing. I have a emergency stop buy on that, like at 28, so the PSAR -1. So on any burst like this, I'm automatically going to get surprised into it. But man, that's a screaming buy right now. Walmart testing. Last time it failed. What will it do this time? Start with an intraday first. The compressing volatility, the converging Bollinger Band says this is a critical state right here. Wheaton found support at 50. Target is 60. No brainer for defensive plays. When? I just don't see it. I think this is the more likely outcome, bringing it back to 80. Critical state here in this tight doji and the smallest range of 4 days after a big pop and no follow through. That's a critical state ready to collapse. U.S. Steel lagging behind Nucor, but it has more room to go. So in the pair trade, Nucor is outperforming, but U.S. Steel offers the greater value. Materials looking solid. Energy has recovered and put in a support level here. So any breakout to the upside, this is summer, so any breakout to the upside, you jump on it. Financials, I've had a nice leg 1, leg 2, pretty fairly priced. I think that's going to depend on politics to see who gets the graft, but they'll be well covered. I think that's a safe bet. Tech, clear winner. Healthcare, clear winner. Buy any breakout. Consumer discretionary, clear winner. Watch to see the next paychecks coming to the Americans, but with the Senate out of session for the rest of August, I'm wary of that one. Preserve your profits. Oil exploration. There's always speculative interest in it, but it's held support. I think you could buy it here, but with a tight protective stop at the PSAR, and then I would play the reversal back down to lows, and that's how come up. So that's the speed run.